Y equals 2 sine theta minus 1. So basically to graph this, first thing I'm going to do is I want to figure out the scale that I should use on my x-axis and y-axis. So I'm just going to figure out my maximum and minimum. So I always know the maximum value is the vertical displacement plus the amplitude is the max, and the vertical displacement minus the amplitude is the minimum. So 1 and -3 are the max and the min. So I know that the graph is going to extend from 1 to -3. So my scale, if I'm making every 2 squares 1 unit on the y-axis, that isn't bad. For the x-axis, I know that every pi over 2 is where the key points are. The main thing, it's up to you. You can play with it, but it's really more about making it look nice than anything else at this point. So I'm just going to say every 3 squares is pi over 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, put a notch, 1, 2, 3 is pi. And then, so it's every 6 squares is pi, but every 3 is pi over 2. Okay, now I'm just going to dot in the vertical displacement and the amplitude. So the vertical displacement is -1, so I'm just going to dot a horizontal line all the way across at -1, and then the amplitude is 2, so I'm just going to go 2 above and 2 below the vertical displacement and dot that in. So just remember, every 2 squares is 1 though, so that's why it's 4 above and 4 below in this case, but really that's 2. Now I just have to remember my pattern for sine. And sine always starts in the middle and then it's high. So it's middle high, middle low, middle high, middle low. And it's every 3 squares that I hit the highs and the lows. So I'm going to start dotting it in, and the green line is my middle. So I'm going to start, there's my middle, and then it's 1, 2, 3, and I'm high, which is up to the top blue, then middle, then low, then middle, then high, and then working it backwards. Let's middle, low, middle, high, middle. And now you just gotta graph it all in. And now when you're graphing, one thing I really don't like to see in graphs of trig functions is pyramids. So we don't want to see straight lines connecting these dots. They should be nice curves all the way along. Mine are probably exaggerated in the other direction. Okay, lastly, this was supposed to extend from -2 pi to 2 pi, but I actually went farther. So just remember, however far they tell you to graph, it's always a minimum. It's okay to go more, but you can't go less.